Have you ever stopped to think that maybe the problem isn't insomnia, but the way you deal with your own mind? While the world sleeps, some people are fighting internal battles with thoughts that won't let up. Silence outside, chaos within. And no matter how much we try to distract ourselves with screens, TV shows, or even chamomile tea, the truth is the emptiness lingers. And it screams. Because what keeps us awake at night often isn't the noise, it's the absence of peace. We live in a society that profits off your restlessness. They sell you sedatives, apps, quick-fix therapies, and promises of falling asleep in 3 minutes. But no one talks about what Buddha taught. True peace isn't bought. It's cultivated. The mind doesn't quiet down with force, but with understanding. The problem isn't feeling too much. It's never learning to look at what you feel with kindness, with presence, with truth. It sounds counterintuitive, but it's real. The more you try to escape your thoughts, the more they chase you. And that's where the profound and often ignored wisdom of the Buddhist path comes in. A millennia-old teaching that doesn't offer magic formulas, but simple, deep practices that slowly transform your relationship with silence. Buddha didn't talk about insomnia in those exact words, but everything he taught was, at its core, about healing the restless mind. What if I told you that you already have everything you need to sleep peacefully without changing anything around you? This video isn't about promising you'll never have tough nights again. It's about understanding what's behind them. It's about discovering that the cure isn't far away, but a reconnection with what's always been there, inside you. Because the silence you seek at night begins the moment you learn to listen to your own heart. Have you ever wondered why, even when you're exhausted, sleep doesn't come? It's like your mind, instead of shutting off, goes into overdrive right when it's time to rest. And the funny thing is, sometimes your body feels limp, but your thoughts, oh, they're like teenagers at a party. That's where mindfulness comes in, like a Buddhist balm for mental unrest. Practicing mindfulness is like cleaning up your thoughts before bed. It clears the clutter, organizes what matters, and lets peace settle in. And listen, this isn't cheap mysticism. It's science mixed with ancient wisdom. Picture your mind as a radio that never turns off. Now imagine, what if you could tune it and silence the static? That's exactly what mindfulness does. Instead of fighting your thoughts, you observe them like you're watching a river. They flow, they pass. A simple exercise? Sit in silence for 5 minutes and focus on your breathing. That's it. But you've got to do it consistently, like watering a plant. Over time, insomnia loses its grip, and inner silence becomes a trusted friend. Modern life has taught us to live on autopilot. Wake up, rush, eat, work, sleep poorly, and repeat. And you still wonder why you can't sleep right? Buddha said a restless mind is like a shaken glass of water. Everything's cloudy. But when you pause, breathe, and observe, the sediment settles, the water clears. An example? When you brush your teeth at night, be present. Feel the foam, the taste, the motion. Sounds silly, but it's in that silly where the healing lies. Mindfulness doesn't have to be perfect. The key is to start. Even if you get distracted 300 times in 10 minutes, you're still training. It's like going to the gym for your soul. And here's the thing. This is for wise people, not just overly Zen types. Anyone over 30 knows the mind can become a silent battlefield, especially when you lie in bed and the darkness reveals every worry. The good news? You can train your mind to stop being your enemy. What if the peace you're searching for wasn't in another pill, but in the simple act of being present? When you practice mindfulness, something magical happens. The night stops being a war zone and becomes a space for real rest. And that's when a new path opens, something deeper than just presence. Because calming your thoughts is only the first door. The next question is, what if the cure comes through love? Have you ever considered that what keeps you from sleeping isn't exhaustion, but a lack of kindness toward yourself? Loving kindness meditation, taught in the Buddhist tradition, is like a warm hug for your soul. No, It's not poetic fluff, it's a real practice. Metta Bhavana is the name of this exercise that teaches you to wish well, first for yourself, then for others. And here's the kicker. When you train your heart to vibrate with compassion, even insomnia loses its place in your bed. The secret is shifting your emotional frequency. Instead of going to bed with guilt, anger, or anxiety, you plant thoughts of love, healing, and lightness. A simple example. Before bed, sit for 10 minutes and silently repeat phrases like, "May I be at peace," "May I be safe," "May I be happy." Then, extend it to loved ones, and even to people you're at odds with. It sounds like magic, but it's a technique, and it works like a silent antidote to restlessness. Metta Bhavana is an act of emotional rebellion. In a world where hardness has become armor, practicing love is revolutionary, especially for those over 30, carrying wounds, grudges, and sleepless nights. Sometimes, insomnia is your mind trying to resolve pin-up resentments. And Buddha, with all his serene wisdom, taught, where there's the light of compassion, shadows retreat. So why not try it? Instead of taking problems to bed, take a little kindness. The practice starts small, but the effects are huge. It's like lighting a candle in a dark room. A single intention of well-being changes the inner atmosphere. People who practice metta report better sleep, better relationships, and even improved physical health. And it's not a miracle. It's neuroscience aligned with spiritual wisdom. When you wish well to the world, your inner world starts to respond. And don't be surprised if tears come during the practice. Sometimes, it's just your heart releasing what it's held for years. What if the cure isn't just in what you do, but in what you feel when you lay your head on the pillow? When you practice metta, sleep becomes sacred ground, a place where your soul rests because it's at peace with the world. And in that silent peace, a deeper realization emerges. Those repetitive thoughts, the ones that won't leave you alone, might just be asking for a chance to be let go. Have you ever wondered why certain thoughts come back like ghosts, even when you try to ignore them? They sneak in, usually at night, when everything else quiets, except your mind. That poorly timed comment at work, the worry about the future, the memory of something that shouldn't hurt anymore. And there you are, tossing and turning, facing another sleepless night. But what if I told you the secret isn't fighting those thoughts, but letting them go? Impermanence, taught by Buddha as a nikka, is a balm for the restless mind. Nothing is fixed, not pain, not joy, not the thought you think will consume you. Everything changes. But we forget that, don't we? The mind clings, as if holding on to a thought makes it less scary. But it's the exact opposite. Letting go is freedom. When you observe a thought without resisting, it loses power, like smoke dissolving. So how do you do it when a thought feels like a broken record? A simple technique. Take a deep breath and silently say, "This too shall pass." Then, notice the feeling without judgment. Sounds trivial? It's not. It's a practice of presence that breaks the anxiety cycle. Another helpful tool, write those thoughts down before bed. Get them on paper. It's like telling your mind, "I've acknowledged you, now I can rest." It's curious how the mind insists on replaying what hurts. But you are not your thoughts. You're the one observing them. A Buddhist practitioner learns this over time and starts to see that even the worst nights have an end. Insomnia isn't punishment, it's a sign. Something in you is trying to break free, asking for healing. And often, a shift in perspective is enough to turn the night into an ally. When you realize everything changes, even the most stubborn thought loses its grip. What if, instead of controlling, you started trusting the natural flow of your mind? That surrender, that deep relaxation, makes room for something new to emerge. Because when you embrace impermanence, a different kind of peace starts to grow. And in that state of non-control, true rest happens. A rest that paves the way for something even more transformative. The silent ritual of preparing your soul for sleep. Have you ever thought about why your mind races just when your body wants to stop? It's like, when you lie down, something inside says, now that it's quiet, let's review your entire life. But what few realize is that peace doesn't come from external silence. It's born from what you do in the hours before you close your eyes. Ancient Buddhists knew this and left valuable clues on how to turn the end of the day into a portal for healing and deep rest. Slowing down rituals aren't luxuries, they're modern necessities. In an age where the mind is bombarded with stimuli, creating a sacred moment before bed is an act of wisdom. Light a sandalwood incense. Read something light, like Words of the Buddha or The Art of Happiness, and sit in silence for 10 minutes. This doesn't just help with insomnia, it reorganizes your soul. It's like sweeping away the day's dust before lying in it. These rituals are, in truth, applied ethics in daily life. Buddhist ethics value non-harm, compassion, and clarity. So, by avoiding violent content, gossip, or arguments before bed, you're already clearing the energetic field of your night. Taking a warm shower in silence, mentally giving thanks for 3 things from the day, or listening to a gentle mantra are small actions with profound effects. Your mind feels it and responds. People with insomnia often carry a rhythm that no longer belongs to the night. That's where these rituals act like a conscious break. You can't sleep with your head in hustle mode. Your body might try to rest, but your mind's still stuck in traffic, on an unanswered email, or a lingering argument. Creating a nighttime ritual is like telling your brain, it's time to stop now. Everything's okay. You're safe. What if you started tonight? It might not change everything at once, but you'll notice sleep comes faster, your chest breathes easier, and even your dreams feel lighter. Because, in the end, slowing down at night is about preparing your soul for rest, and for understanding more deeply where that lingering restlessness comes from when everything seems calm. What if what keeps you awake at night isn't the problem, but the urge to fix everything now? There's a subtle restlessness that follows us, even when things seem fine. A feeling that something's missing, that we need more love, more money, more answers. This insatiable thirst, called tanha by Buddhists, is like an invisible hole that never fills. And guess what? It's what fuels the quiet insomnia so many face. Desire itself isn't the villain. The problem is attachment to it. How many times have you caught yourself thinking you'll only find peace when you achieve X or Y? Whether it's a relationship, a paycheck, or approval, it creates an illusion that the cure comes from outside, not within. So the mind never rests, because it's always almost there, but never fully present. Buddha didn't say to stop desiring. He taught how to observe desire without getting lost in it. A simple example. Think of someone who desperately wants to buy a house. At first, it's a valid goal, but when desire turns into obsession, it becomes a prison. They start living for it, losing sleep, getting irritated over everything, and forgetting to live in the present. That's tanha at work. The practice here is to ask, this thing I want, will it really bring me peace? Or am I just trying to drown out an emptiness with external noise? This thirst for what we don't yet have is what keeps the mind in constant motion. You lie down, but your brain's still negotiating with tomorrow. It's so focused on what's unresolved that it forgets the present is a home too. Recognizing this isn't settling. It's stopping the race against yourself. The healing begins when you learn to tell need apart from lack. And maybe, just maybe, the peace you seek is exactly where you stop searching. Not because you gave up, but because you realize the present holds so much more than it seemed. Insomnia, at this point, reveals itself as a mirror. It's not punishment, it's an invitation. An invitation to awareness, to stillness, to the lightness of being with yourself without pressure, without urgency, just presence. So, after all this, tell me, what's still holding you back from seeking the peace you deserve? How many sleepless nights will it take until you decide enough is enough? Insomnia isn't just a physical issue, it's a spiritual symptom. a sign that your soul is crying for help. And what Buddha taught wasn't a religion, but a map, a clear path back to inner silence. The question is, will you walk it? What if, instead of fighting your thoughts, you learn to embrace them, to treat them like visitors, not enemies? The truth is, restlessness isn't the end, it's the invitation. Your noisy mind is just asking to be heard with more presence, with more kindness. And yes, the cure exists. It doesn't come in a rush, but it comes. When you commit to small changes every day, transformation happens. Are you ready to make that pact with yourself? To become the guardian of your own peace? Because trust me, you don't need to rely on external stimuli anymore to calm your inner world. The power is in your hands, or rather, in your silence, in your attention, in your practice. And the more you align with this, the less insomnia takes hold. Because a present mind is a peaceful mind. Now, I invite you, start today. Pick a ritual, a moment in your day to practice what you've learned here. Even if it's just 5 minutes. Don't put off your awakening. And if this content touched something in you, if it made sense in some way, share it with someone else who needs to hear it. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications to keep diving into this world of wisdom and healing. Because peace is possible, and the journey has already begun.